coming on. I ain't written nothing down, so if I come to a faulty and I forget what I gotta, I'll just go to the next one. It's easier because I've got brain dead. Right, sorting out the stuff ready for our show. I know it's miles away, but we're starting off with if you get members down the trading shed, or when we've got the AGM next week, then they're all going to get one of these. Obviously, there's 6 to a sheet, but basically getting people's name, phone numbers, and it's just a contact, just in case we've got to get in touch with them. Because moving venue where we used to be at Crayley Town FC, our venue, then we had to move quick, and it was we hadn't got a name and address for most of our members, and it was just trying to get hold of them. So just in case, we're going to get everybody's details. So sorting them out. With the training sheds down there where our new venue is now, Crayley Sports and Social. I put these 2 up when the sheds are mowed at the top of the driveway. In fact, I've got to revamp them. But our Ben, luckily he's at home, so he sorted the what's it sound, and then I just laminated them. Right, this is our bolting last week. What's that got to do with gardening? Because what you get your dip in, perfect for keeping me seeds in for me cannas when I'm soaking them. So I'm saving them up all. Right, that was last Saturday down the shed, cutting them up ready when the members come. Wrong post passing it in their eyes and sandal should be cleared. Not should be, will be. Jesus, makes me fume. Right, so we're going to take a highness for a walk in the morning. Just make him out there. It's the cannas from last year. Now, these was taken out by this time last year. There's one there and there's one there. But they've left them in. So we see what happens to them through the growing season. Nick Brake, he was on last week when we finished. He was going to mention it, but he forgot. So he messaged me and he says he wants some more liquid fish off me. That's how I get it. Gareth Hopcroft I had them from. And he did have these in his shop, but nobody would buy them because all the bottles somehow got a dent in. And he don't like them himself. And he gave me the lot. He's a good lad. So I sent one of them to him in the post. And to last him a while. That's how our mates took off I'm not kicking him, going back on him. It pisses me off. Right, good thing about winter, stew, Boston. Also, if you're a composter, that's a bonus. And the French sticks and all. Our first inputter tonight is Rowley. All yours, Rowley.
Okie dokie. Well, most of it's really about how I've been collecting and what I'm doing with the alpaca manure. This is the characters that provide it for me. So you've got to start somewhere. So I thought, there's a picture of them. You move on, Nick, if you like, to number 2. Oh, that one. That, obviously, what you can see is I've made a load of bays to store it and sort of mature it. The alpaca manure I treat exactly the same as the horse manure. It's layered with wood chips. I've got some. I stirred the wood chips up this morning with a JCB, and it's my wood chips are now about 3 years old. So you can imagine that they've almost turned to compost themselves. So I layer it about, well, I'll say, describe it. I generally put, say, 2 wheelbarrowfuls of wood chip and then 2 wheelbarrowfuls of alpaca manure, and that's what I've done it as. So obviously the first one and the right hand one is the one I'm using, and the others have been sort of turned over for one, turned over for the other. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 we'll have some put in it over the next week, because I had to go and get another trailer full today because the lady has moved her shed that she keeps them in. They put a concrete pad with all the water system in for them, and they dragged it down and onto the concrete pad. Well, of course, she had to clean the building out. So instead of getting a trailer load every 6 weeks, I got a trailer full in a fortnight. So that's waiting at home, ready to be emptied. Next one, then, please, mate. And there you are. You can see how it's cooking. I do the actual bays are just straight made up out of pallet wood, but on the top, I always cover it with about 100 mil insulation. Again, benefit of having a son with an own roofing company. I get me insulation for nothing. So, you know, that's got quite warm there, isn't it, as it's been cooking?
Yeah.
So, and another one. You know, that's just to show you, like, the trailer's old about, well, give or take a cubic metre, and that's more or less how it comes. There's a little bit out of a, what do you call them, stables, really, and the rest of it she picks across the field. Now, go to the next one, Mick, because there should be a sort of an instruction label on here somewhere, and that is the last one, as I've unloaded it, so you can see it is more alpaca manure than hay. You got another one, mate? And that's just a bath where I fill it up with. I've got two side by side. One is full of alpaca manure, and the other one is full of horse manure. And out the plug hole runs the liquid feed. And one's supposed to have got more nitrogen in than the other. And of course, the alpaca supposedly a cold feed, a cold manure, so you can pour that on anything. But that's how I use it. It runs out the bottom of there with rainwater. If it sort of dries up, then all my water that I use is spring water anyway. So I just put a couple of watering cans full of spring water on it and let it run out the bottom, and use it like that. And thankfully, I only tried it 1 year on some beans just to see if I was going to kill them. Because it never killed them, I just keep going now. And, you know, I know the alpaca manure has no nasty chemicals on the land. And I don't believe the horse manure does. But it's one of them things, you never know when they've brought in hay or straw or something else. You never know what it comes in with, do you?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's always a bit of a gamble, but I've never had a problem with it yet anyway. So I'll just keep touching my head and using it. And the next one then, Mick, right? Yeah, when you see that, this is what I put on. I mean, Mick put this up the other week as well, and I sent it to him. That alpaca, when it runs out the bottom on the liquid, can you see it? Look, £3 a litre. I wish I could get £1 a litre for the amount of it I get. But it just shows that some people are prepared, what people are prepared to pay for it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know. And another then, Mick. Yeah, and what I've done, this actual fact will have peas planted in here. Where I mean, Mick knows him. I don't know how many other people would know him, but John Brannan is a sort of a big noise on our local NVS, and he opens his gardens once a year, and I'm always amazed at his peas. It's like a bloody hedge. He's got so many. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So I thought, like, this year, I'm going to have a go and see if I can grow peas like that. So I done, and I filled it up with alpaca manure, right? And then that's halfway through, as you can see. And then I don't know what, I was talking to him at the last meeting, and I don't know what brought it up. Oh, because it was the autopot meeting, the last one was, and he asked how I got on with the autopots. And I said to him what I'd done about these peas, because I'd say to him every year at his open day about the peas. I was just so bloody jealous of them. It's unreal. And I said, whatever do you do? And we was discussing it, and I told him that I filled the trench up with alpaca manure. He said, you'll need a ladder to reach them. He said, because they're going to grow that well. And he's promised me some of his seed. he uses to grow his peas, so that I can have a proper go at competing against him with the peas. So that's what that trench is all in aid of. And another one, Mick.
Like it.
Yeah, well, you know, this one, further down on another couple of pictures, you'll see this money frame. This trench here, and what I've set that's got horse manure in the bottom, and it will be covered with alpaca manure. And I'll be growing my Stena runner beans over that this year. Where I had them up on one of the other plots, there was such a cold wind blew through all the while that the beans like aged as soon as they grew. It was quite sort of strange, but I've never noticed it before. So I've moved them down where they're more protected. And like I say, I've set in a trench down there now, as you can see, half full of horse muck. The next one, the next picture probably look black on top of it. Can you go, Mick? Yeah, because that's got another layer of alpaca muck on top of that. And I mean, you can see the sunshine in there. That was put on, I don't know, 2-3 months ago when I done that, so that that's got time to all rot in and do. And where I've had all my homemade compost and what have you on there, where it's done, you can see right at the top end of the picture where that's white. Well, that must be the some sort of, what they call it? Well, it ain't mycorrhizal, is it? But one of them sort of things that's grown out of the wood chip.
Mycelium or
Yeah, some mycelium stuff of some description. And why it only grew that one end, I don't know, but that end is probably because it's nearer to the water. Maybe it had more water and rotted better. I don't know. But there you are. Anyhow, another picture then, Mick, if you could, please. And there you see, there's the Monty frame without the canes on it, ready to grow the beans up and over. With the theory, they'll all dangle down off the 45-degree bit, so that nothing touches them. The beans should be clean, and hopefully, because they'll be hanging like that with no restriction, they should be straighter. And that framework is what used to be Dunstable Town Market frames, where they, you know, the weekend, you know, the Saturday morning market had all that. Well, when I was transport manager there and it was all closed down, I managed to get some of the frames. So I thought they're ideal, all galvanized steel, you know. And that's what it is. I don't know whether other people are up on Monty frames, how they work, but that's the idea. Let the beans dangle so they grow longer and don't get blemished. Have we got another one, Mick? You know, that's a picture down where I've got the 3 beds done. Like I say, the nearest one will have the peas in it. The next one up is what had the beans in it last year, and the end one under the Monty frame, like I say, is the Stena beans, and there'll be fresh beans again this year from Sherry Plum. I generally buy some more or less. Well, I certainly guarantee every other year, if I don't buy them every year from her. You know, she sells them, don't she? 50 seeds for £10. So it's worth a gamble for a tenner to have a go. You know, she's one of the top sort of breeders and showers of Stena beans in the country, isn't she? So
yeah, that's good.
She does. Anybody that knows her, like I say. And as you can see, we've put cardboard down and wood chips in between the beds to try and cut down on the weeding, so that, you know, us 2 old pensioners that do it, don't like bending down pulling weeds out. And another one, Mick, please, or is that it? Oh, there I am. Yeah,
That's it, really.
there was actual fact one missing there, Mick. I don't know why or how, but there was like an explanation sheet from a company, Alpaca Gold. And they go waffling on us about you don't get weed seeds from it. You do get weed seeds, and I found out why. The local farmer or the local estate where the woman used to have them come in and they'd top the fields for her, all moved. So she never got her fields topped. So because a lot of the grass went to seed, the buggers had ate the seed and gone through them. Whereas if you keep your fields well topped, well mowed, then you don't get those seeds, do you? So therefore it won't come through in the manure. And that must be not just with the alpaca, but I should say the sheep would be the same, because they are only supposed to have it sort of so many 6 or 8, 10 mil deep to get the best of the grazing from them. But anyhow, that's my input for this week. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Good man. Cheers for that, Rowley.
No worries. No worries.
Paul was on this afternoon, Chili Paul. But I think it's his daughter's birthday. He ain't going to be on tonight. But he was at, I think it was ordered a few hours yesterday. He was alpaca mucking. I think he got about 16 bags in the end.
Yeah.
But it is Boston stuff. It's not too strong. Use it straight away. Plus the pellet form as well. That's what I like. There's no big lumps. It's done for you, isn't it?
It does break down well. I mean, if you see it, and I don't know whether did I give you any alpaca manure or once before when it was all done down and put through the shredder. It does, well, I took my lad 4 dustbinfuls of my homemade compost the other day, and he reckons that was better stuff than what he buys in bags.
Yeah.
I've got it. Well, I got 1,000 litre. I picked up, because somebody was offering them in Leighton Buzzard, 2,000 litre wheelie bins, plastic ones. And I got one of them and I filled it up with all my homemade compost, the horse manure version of it, all put through a sieve and the shredder and everything. And it is, I'll tell you what, it's as good as bagged. Well, better than what you can buy, I should think.
Yeah. Lovely. Thanks for that, Rowley.
No worries. No worries. You're welcome.
Right, if you remember me, I'm having a go at the old ginger. I put these on last week. And Nick Blake, who's been doing it a while, was it my first year having a go. He says cover it with compost. So that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. So there's my clover. I'm going to put a bit of vermiculite in when I do. Get a good mix. Top them up. Give them a waiter. Put their little clutches back on. So we'll see how they go. Look at me stew.
Mick, can I ask you a question there? Why I always add perlite. Why do you always add vermiculite?
I did a trial years ago, one against the other.
Yeah.
The stuff in the vermiculite. I think it hangs onto the moisture better.
Yeah, well, I could appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
that's just
if
why.
it's got the moisture in, it's also got air in.
Yeah.
I prefer vermiculite to perlite because perlite creates a dust.
It does, yeah.
And you're using it, and it can't be any good for you. So I tend not to use it now. Well, or I have got some left, but when I've used that all, I won't bother with it anymore. I'll use the vermiculite, which is easier to use. Just personal preference, obviously, but
yeah,
that's what I choose to use. Yeah.
But, and I wondered as well, with the biochar basically powder form, that must do almost the same job as the vermiculite, because the biochar will hold water, liquid, whatever you like.
Yeah,
the same as. I wonder if people would you use, if you didn't want to go for the expensive biochar, would you say pre-soak vermiculite in a liquid feed of some description before you added it and use it like as a substitute for biochar? Like, what do you think of that?
Good little trial, worth doing.
Yeah,
worth thinking about.
I just thought they do the same job.
Yeah,
but is biochar the same consistency as?
It can be. Well, I think the granules are probably harder than the vermiculite. Vermiculite is probably a softer. If you've got 2 handfuls of it, you'd think the vermiculite was softer than the biochar. But you can grind it to all the same size granules if you like.
Yeah.
one of the benefits that I think I get from either the vermiculite or the other stuff, it lets the air into the compost.
Yeah. Well,
Aerate,
that was my idea of using perlite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they both do the same, and you get, especially when you're making seed sowing compost, I use a 50-50 mix, 50 mix of finely sieved compost, and then I put 50% vermiculite in, and I find that's if I use that for seed sowing, it's just nice.
I know we put vermiculite in the carrot mix, and always try. I mean, they do get a couple of bags in for us up at the garden
Yeah.
club, because the vermiculite comes in 2 grades, doesn't it? 2 different size granules, well, probably more than 2 different size granules. But we always have the fine granules to use to go in the carrot mix, in the long and stump carrot mix, like.
Yeah. I use the fine grade. I don't like the I can't remember how big it is, but the big stuff.
Fine and medium, vermiculite.
Yeah.
It's over 3 mil, which
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
chunky. That looks nice, Mick. You got any?
They say fine or medium.
Hey, you got a soup kitchen going?
With brew boss. We've got our Bennett on, my bloody eats everything. That was a photo of Ben's sock. That went out of focus, as you can see, so that's better. You sent Rushan's photo away, and you'll get them on your socks. So I'm going to get harness on my underpants. Paul Rushton, we had him last year as our presentation night. He's a comedian, come magician, come singer. I thought he was brilliant. A couple didn't like him. They might moan at the AGM. But I should give them a piece anyway. But he's a good lad. He goes everywhere. And his mother passed away. I think his mother with Alzheimer's. And he does loads of charity work. So good on him. For the Alzheimer's Society. Just to grow up again, all these big boys against the little boys. Chief exec taking home over 3 million in pay and bonuses a year. Are we sick as, well, we am, because we let them get away with it. Harness on the morning. Paul, this is rather back of you. Your money over here. 3 lots of wood chip.
Yeah, they have. They've shredded it, haven't they?
It's good brew. No green in it. Bananas. Just thought if, well, I've been feeding all the way through the Christmas. When I had my reunion with a mob, I got caught speeding. 50 mile an hour. The dual carriageway. It was roadworks, but there was no any road. There was a few mile an hour over the limit, and I had this. You got 3 points or a national speed awareness course. And when I found out you could do it on Zoom, I thought that's it. I think it was 18 of us all together. Obviously, you don't see everybody, and there's a bird talks to it, but it was an eye opener in the sense. With me, it's like catching up on stuff you not forgot, but you should know. And there was 2 people on there. Those all middle-aged or older. There's only one younger on there, and there's about 2 or 3 on them. They was on 2 mile an hour over the speed limit, and they got chopped. And in a discussion, basically, it's easy money. So if it's in a 30 mile, you don't get done for 32. It's all according which police force it is. But it's easy money for them. In the road, I've passed. So I ain't got 3 points on the license. But I shall be aware next time. Keep to the speed limit. I know you're going to get people, which is what we brought up on the course. People are going to be on you, popping the bloody horn. So just put your finger up to them. That could start a bloody rush on your road. Right, time to get my propagator out. Don't forget this was last week. So getting him out. Capillary matting, which I washed from the year before. Get a bit of moisture in that so it's nice and damp and bung neat, you know. These lot are going in there. Like them there. These are 2 plants signed off Aaron. Just cut all the crap off. I think they're bloody half dead when I had them off him. Ross says I'll try and revive them, although it was the wrong time to try and revive in winter. Right, sweet taters. I put a few on a couple of years back, but I found a lot. These are from my talk a year on the plot. And somebody mentioned, can you bung them on again from start? So sweet potatoes, slips, that's how I used to get them when I started off. So I unravel. I'm going to put these on. Luckily I've got root trainers. These for my sweet peas. And my runners. I thought they would be good for them. Right, first time I did them, you got to have them in a raised bed or bloody red tub because they grow vertically. So this is a good drop of mucking. There's no compaction on the soil whatsoever. So I made bridges, as you can see, and you just about make 2 out there. So working my way along. So they've got a good feed under them. The sweet taters, same family as the convolvulus. They've got exactly the same leaf and the same flower, which we'll have a look there, as you can see. But getting them up like a normal spud. If you put your fork through them, it'll go through a spud and all, same as these, because they grow vertical. I was getting some decent sized one, say it was for the fuscu, but not as big as wanted. They are a tropical plant, so right, let's look after them weather-wise, i.e. warmth. So we bed again, end of the season, whatever it was in before. It's been top dressed with muck, a good watering, then I've covered it in black and white plastic, meaning that's going to keep in the warmth and the moisture, which is what these want. So this is phase 2. Same distance again, because I'm going to get loads. Go back on that one. These are about 4 inches deeper than the bed itself, meaning when it rains, it'll get extra rain will go through them holes as well as me watering. Right, so far so good. Good thing about the black and white, if I go back on that one, all I'm doing is lifting that bar. The bar's me weight just to keep the plastic down. I'm going to lift that bar up and just have a nose, lifting the edge. And all I'm doing is having a look to see how I'm going. Exactly the same with my spuds when I used to grow them on the plot on a raised bed. But instead of lifting the black plastic, all I'm doing is lifting the straw because that's got straw as a top dressing. And I scrape away the straw, then have a look, see how I'm doing. If the spuds are ready and I was to get the whole of the plant up, there's always some babbies, and you've killed the plant. What you've got to do is lift it like this, take off the spuds that you need, then earth that back up again. Because the small babbies that are in there, they're going to carry on growing. See it better there, like him and that one. If I'd have pulled the old plant up, I'd have lost them too. So all I'm going to do is cut him off, then earth it back up again. Once I've gone through, I've got what I want out, then I'll feed again. Feed and wait. And at the end of the season, before the first frost, then I'll get them up. But it works. And we have them now with mashed tater. We mix them with mashed tater and we put sweet in as well. And we all love them. And the good thing about the sweet potatoes, you can now get them in plugs. You ain't going to fart about with the slips. Perfect. Then we'll fit perfect into a plastic drinking cup. Thank you, Colin. Still got your box of them. Still using them. So that's my sweet taters. Right, cannas in the greenhouse. Here's started coming through. Look at that leaf. Beautiful. Love the colouring on the variegated leaf. There's quite a few coming through now. There's quite a few little chaps yomping at me leaves, so I'm spraying regular. This is on last week. That was who's in the portrayed in the film. That was the original photo of it. It ought to end up in Nick. Highness now sits on the mat, stopping us going out, meaning if I've got to go out, I've got to go past Highness. Or say, take me with you. Right, we're doing a bit of stuff at home for our show. Let me show laminated paper and the cutter. Right, we're getting a bit down the pan. Crusty cobs. Had these off a grain Barrett. Jeffrey asked me for some seeds. I sent him a load of goodies. I forgot to put these in. But he's coming to our show this year. He's a good lad, so he can have them in. I've been trying loads of alcohol-free stuff. There's a few lagers that are decent. I get a decent one from Lidl, and where we have go for our meetings, committee meetings, and general meetings down the Cradle Sports Social Club. They've got their cider, non-alcohol as well, and it's good. To say it's not alcohol, it's a Boston taste. But somebody bought me these for the Christmas. Jesus, vile. It's like drinking, well, sugar. Right, normal. Feeding everything in the house. I fell out with these last week and all. Well, I fell out with them once before as well, which we'll come on to later on. But this is where I go for my spent coffee grounds. So I'm going up the escalator with a basket. Because they give me a big bag on it. There we are. Leaving back outside, going Aspen. Asked him in there, spent coffee grounds, please. Sorry, can't dish them out anymore to the public. Why is that? Health and safety. Is there a reason? Health and safety wise? No, that's it. Next. Oh, Jesus, wept. So I fell out with them and all. But on the way down, there's some books out and just bung a quid or something in the charity tin, which is here. But look at him. I saw him straight away from 3 miles. I thought, bloody hell, that's an old one. It's one of the oldest books I've ever found. And I was sniffing it for a while. Public must have thought, look at that bloody pervert there. But I had him. But while I was in there, Tesco, pearl barley. It's groats or pearl barley. Our local butchers has finished down ours, I mean. They used to flog the groats. Now he's gone. You can't get groats anywhere. Well, not in ours, I mean. No pearl barley. As the day did, so I had to go to Tesco for that. Mrs. don't like it, so I had to speak to trouble. I kept showing the missus all the time, bloody stuff. So one for me and Ben with the groats, one for the missus without. Paul, you're up next, my mate.
All right. Okay. Just an update on what's been happening inside my experimental grow tent that I haven't used up until now. So I've had it 2 years, and I thought, you know, it's about time I tried it out. So about, don't know whether you remember, but about November time, something like that, I started off some onions that I had a big onion from Nick Brake some time back at Colligate Show, and I put it down for seed, and I had loads of seed off it. Grew some last year. They were okay, but this year I thought, I'll tell you what, let's try a bit better. Let's see what we can do. So started them off in November in just multi-purpose clover compost, and I added to that some vermiculite, perlite, and also some BBC1, which is beneficial bacteria culture 1. That is supplied by my sponsors from Evaponic. It comes in powder form, but you can put it into liquid as well. So you can put sort of a pinch to a litre of liquid, and it's supposed to put all the goodies into the compost. So I did that. This is how we are actually today. Those onions that you see there at the back, they're sort of they're about 12 inches tall now, and some of them have got 6 leaves on them. I said I've never done this before, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to keep persevering with it and see how we go. In front of that is some leeks, that leek seed, that one there, yeah, they are roughly about 3 years old now. It was from the Pendle Improved, and again I let one of them go to seed, and that's the seeds off it. So again, it's an experiment. It's in the same stuff in the clover compost with everything else that I said was added. We'll see it. Well, I shall show you what happens. So as it goes on, we will see what happens. The onions to the left that you see there, I've no idea what they are whatsoever. Found an onion head in the greenhouse. Don't know where it came from, what I took it off, but I'm thinking that it did actually come from some onion sets from last year, and I let some of them get a seed, and I think it's one of them. So if that's the case, it's probably something like I don't know what they call them, Globo or something like that, or they are. I'm not 100% certain, but again, we'll see what happens if they keep growing or not. We'll see what they produce. The little thing in front of that, that's one of my long chili peppers, and that took only 6 days to germinate, and it was that tall when I pulled it out the propagator. So I don't know if that keeps going like that, it's going to be 6 foot tall. But again, I've never grown them this way before. They've always just been done in the propagator in the kitchen from sort of mid-February onwards. So all this, everything here is a pure experiment. I might lose the lot. Who knows? I might get something really fantastic, but we'll see. Who knows?
Paul, do you soak your chili seeds in anything before you germinate them?
I tried it last year, and I actually was told to put them into that BBC1, that beneficial. Yeah, roll them in that first, and then plant them, which I did. But I'll be honest, I didn't. Well, I don't know if I did see any difference or not, to be honest. But that was just a chili seed straight out the packet into the compost. Give it a good watering in the propagator, and well, there you go. I actually put 7 in, and that one came up in that short amount of time. The other 6 haven't even shown yet. So, and they were all from the same chili.
Yeah.
So nature in it, you just never know what's gonna do what. But I don't know. This could be the one. You know what I mean? Just keep
Super
watching
seed.
this space. Yeah,
that's it.
But that beside it to the it's all right. I was going to say you can go on to the next one, mate.
Good man.
Right, we are there. That's my giant carrots. There was some seed that come off Graham Barrett. It said February to March sort of thing, but again, they were done at the end of December. and they really do need potting on now. So I don't know whether I can, I don't want to lose them. See, I put 2, I actually grew 4 seeds, every single one come. I've put 2 outside in a 75 litre trug and put a bell cloche over the top of them. They still look like they're surviving, even with the temperatures that we've gone down to like -7.
Yeah.
So again, experimenting. These here, you know, I might just try and keep these in a stable temperature going on, pot them up and see what happens there. And then I'll compare them to the ones that are outside now, in all sorts of weather and all sorts of temperatures. So they are actually covered with a bell cloth. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
Gonna try it.
Yeah, quite. That's just looking at all that lot from another angle. They look quite healthy, don't they?
Onions are looking good, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. That's with 2 propagators. That's where they normally are. That's how I normally start the stuff off in the kitchen, on the kitchen table.
Have you got a thermostat on your propagators?
On these, yeah, these are the
yeah.
they're God, I'm just trying to think of the company. Off the top of my head, I can't think what it is now, but well-known company. They've been going for years, and they're just their propagators, the heated propagators. I liked what Mick said about the capillary matting earlier. I've never done that. I just stick them straight on the plastic. So like you see the seed trays in front of the propagator there. I'll just set the seeds in that and then give them a good soak and then just bung them in the propagator. And as they start to come, open the vents up on the propagator, obviously, if they tell you what to do. And then eventually just take the lid off, but leave the bottom heat on. So with the bottom heat on, I think it just helps them along a bit.
Yeah.
The 3 stalks in the background there, the one on the right is my overwintered chili from 2 years back now. I've actually kept that for 2 years. But I think I left it out too long this year outside. And when I got to it, it was a bit worse for wear. The other 2, I don't really know what they are, but it's a kid from down the road. He bought some chili seed to like kill his mates off at work, and he said this is the hottest one, whatever what that was at the time. And he said, would you mind growing these for me? So I grew those last year for him. And he said, oh, you better keep a couple back. So I've kept them back, and that's how they currently look at the moment. I know you're supposed to pick all the leaves off, pick all the fruit off, and then cut them down to like a Y at the top, is what I've seen on YouTube and one thing and another. And then apparently they start to grow again from that next year, which is like the year we're in now.
Yeah.
So I've done that, as you can see, with the stick on the right. Watch this space. That's all I can say. We'll see what happens. That's what I'm currently using to feed. That's the BBC one in the background. So that's like a beneficial bacteria culture. I think you've used that, haven't you, Mick?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite, it can be used in various ways. That can, let's say, you can water it, you can water it down, you can use it as powder form. I am only at the moment using 0.75 of a mil of all the ones that you see in the foreground to a litre. So I've got a pop bottle with a little water on the top, like what Mick uses. I'll put maybe 100 ml of liquid, which is straight at the tap, water, into the pop bottle, and then I'll put I'll actually put, because it's 2 litre, I'll put 1.5 mils of each of these into the bottle, but you have to shake the bottle each administration of whichever one you're putting in, so you can't put them all in together, because they say they're confused together, and then possibly they'll create something that you don't want.
Yeah.
So you have to actually mix it with a liquid, every single one, as you do it. But from the results I'm getting, I'm quite happy with what's happening with it. It seems to be working. I
Good.
missed the force field off, which is the one right at the front of there. That's supposed to get rid of nasties before they even come along. So you actually, the plant takes that up, and it also administers that to stop the nasty bugs and one thing and another.
Good.
But it has to be done from start to finish. So you have to keep administrating it all the time. But again, it seemed to work fine last year. I did get spider mite, which it didn't stop that. But to be truthful, I didn't actually keep up with it all through the watering regime. So it might have been my fault. Who knows? But I'm quite happy. That's the current temperature in the back, inside the grow tunnel. That's where it tends to stay. Well, you can see that's 10:57 in the morning. The lights are on. It's a Luminar 600 watt LED, and that's on for 16 hours constant, and then that's through the night, and it goes off in the morning, and then it comes back on roughly about 5:30 at night, and then it will run again through the night, and it tends to keep the temperature then in the round about 17 degrees. So that's like the lowest it really drops to. 13.8 is probably the lowest it's dropping to at the moment. Even with the way it's gone down, obviously because of central heating in the house as well. So I'm trying to keep that as stable as possible. But 42% humidity as well. That don't mean nothing to me. Whether it means anything to you guys or what, I don't know, but it don't mean a lot to me at all. There probably is a factor in there for it, but I'm no scientist. I don't know if there's, that's it. Any questions?
Anybody got any questions for Paul?
Yeah, all those compounds, Paul, that you put in, fertilizer and stuff. How much are they?
They vary. Everything's on eBay for sale, but obviously they're in the hydroponic shops as well. Right. I mean, it costs. I would say if you put everything together, absolutely everything that they do, you're probably looking at about 130 quid. But that will last you 12 months easily.
Yeah.
Easily 12 months. And there's no need to really use anything else other than that. Oh. It's a complete system. And that, to be honest, is all I use, Colin.
All right,
that's all I've used. Yeah, because I've also
just made a note of Super Roots. Is there a company name?
Evaponic.
Eva.
EVO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there, look.
Oh, right, okay. Evaponic.
Yeah. Evaponic, yeah. The Super Roots, well, I'll have to get one of the things out in the next and show you the roots on it.
Yeah.
Um,
And sorry to cut across you, but all those are compatible with each other, are they? If they're mixed.
oh,
as
you
you
mix,
say,
you can mix everything together, everything.
and then it's just one dose, and the
Yeah,
plant gets
yeah,
everything.
you don't have to leave any one out. They can all be mixed together, but they have to be mixed individually.
Right.
So
And
when you mix it, you have to put whatever your dose is. If you put it in a tank, say for instance, you administer that in the tank, stir it up. You then put the next one in, stir it up, and vice versa. So, but they'd say don't combine them all together and then try and mix them up,
right,
because they don't work. You've got to mix every single one into the solution separately.
okay. I'll have a
But
look.
I've been using it for, well, how long have I been using it now, Mick? 3-4 years.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, and I've had some good results. You know what I mean? I don't have to like shop around or anything. It's to be honest, it's fairly cheap if you look at it from that. You know, you're getting a full 12 months out of it.
Yeah, and if it does everything, there's no need to buy any extra stuff.
There's no need to buy anything extra now. I mean, I use it on the allotment as well.
Yeah,
So what I'm getting out of those liter containers, I mean, the A and B, they work out at about, I think they're like 15 quid for it's a liter. And if you think that you're only putting maybe 1 mil per liter
yeah.
at the highest dose, you can see how far it goes, you know what I mean?
It's going to go a long way at that.
Oh yeah, I've got little pipettes that go right down to 1/4 of a mil.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You start off like you start off very low,
yeah,
and then you just build up, and then the maximum of any of them is only like 2 mil per liter.
yeah.
At the height of the season. So,
I'm
and
always,
then you can back off from some and
yeah,
just use the ones that you
yeah.
need for the later on in the season for the flowering or whatever. They all do their own thing.
I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to these small dosages, because you say 1/4 of a mil per litre. I'm thinking that's
You
bloody
think
not
that'll never do nothing, yeah, but
enough.
it's surprising it does, and it's better if you do that.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh
much
yeah.
better if you do that, yeah.
Yeah.
You give
Yeah.
it too much, you can see the plant suffering. You
Goodness
can
me.
see it change. You see the colour in the leaves change and everything.
Well, they've done the trials, ain't they?
Yeah, they've had to, haven't they? So
Oh.
yeah,
Cheers,
well,
then, Paul.
all right.
Cheers,
Good
Paul.
man.
I'll have a look at that.
Right, my groats, I've soaked them in a couple of oxo cubes. Now I'm bunged them in. Right, my droppings, that's going in the compost bin. This little chap here, there's a few more leaves curling up. So I open them up, and there's a little thragshite and it's chrysalis. Then I get binned. Right, I go and get some bad frost coming again. So obviously I got my lid on my bin. But this is to cover the chairs over winter, the foldaway chairs. But I've got them in the shed, so that cover I'm going to put on the top of him. As we've got the extra bit of protection. That's for the minus, whatever's. Asking for a screw cap, empty bottles, not litre, but under, and the plastic bags for our trading sheds ready for when we start up again. Which we have. There's quite a few people dropping them off. Good on you. You can see the gross now. I've swelled up and I've soaked up all the juice. Austin. Paul got me this from B&Q. He's a good lad. Expandable foam and a little hook there which we had to ferry it on. There's something else, 2009. That's bloody years away, isn't it? 13. Find problems with the system. but they didn't do anything. 900 plus. Jesus. 93 convictions overturned. Not all of them, just 93. And I'm still bloody fighting. Ain't the
It's
first class
honestly,
result yet, not till
it-
maybe it's a bloody nick or whatever.
it's so bloody annoying, isn't it? The fact
Yeah,
that
it pees me off.
although years ago they looked and somebody said, blimey, there's 900 some postmasters all dipping the fingers. It don't happen, does it?
No.
900, you don't get 900 blinking bad guys all in the
You
post
can't
office.
fight the
Oh,
big boys. They're going to win every time.
you
We'll
might
come
get
on to that in
2
a
or
bit.
3 in
They've got
900.
this shit going on there as well.
Bloody annoys me.
Right, who in the country will look out for the little people? The people without power. I've took 2 large companies on before. I've won with one, lost with the other. And the one I lost with, which I mentioned earlier on, Tesco. Because they flog their own, well, it's not their own, but they do cheap fuel. Now, I used to get me diesel off them. I first had my van off Colin. I've used them for quite a few years. And this time I went down and it started playing up. And I found out, only by Facebook local group, they got dodgy fuel. So I went down there in the missus's car, obviously. Mine was being looked at or sorted. And that was closed up. I says, completely. So I went over the shop and says, why is the fuel closed up? Oh, I'm doing stock check. I says, crap. I says, you've got dodgy fuel. And even then, that they wouldn't admit it. And I thought, they ain't getting away with this. And I took them as far as I could. And then it would have cost me, I think, the next, obviously this is just through phone calls, emails and whatever. But my next thing was to pay 500 quid to get myself a decent solicitor. I thought, solid. They've won money-wise. But the other company I took on and won was the BBC. And that was a few years ago. That was a National Village show. And I complained. And my complaint was upheld. And I won with them. Put them bastards. They and the CPS and the government didn't stop to think, that's a bit unlikely, isn't it? Might it not be the computer software that is at fault? No, thick as shit we are. Anyway, with my seed from my canners, you got to get some, you got to scrape through them. And I got these off the internet. I think it was 16 quid. But them covers are just a protection for these. But that's what I want. It's like sandpaper. These are all my seeds I've sent for new canners this year. If you get your own seed, then you know there's no virus in the rhizome if you buy them, or the plant. Nurseries have started flogging them now, but they're flogging them with viruses on them. These are solid as a ferret. You've got to break that skin down to the white. So you need some pliers. You can either rub that down with sandpaper, but it's easier with something like this. And that's all you're doing. You're breaking that outer skin, put that in water, and obviously the water's going to soak in there and it's going to come out quicker. And there's that little tub I had from my Balti house. This was what the dip was in. Perfect. So I'm going to use them. So there's one lot there. Well, I've got to do Lizzie one of these, red zebra. As you can see them already. That's in lukewarm water. I'll get 3 bags in here, so I'll put holes in the bottom of there. Not big enough so these drop out, but just so they look after themselves. And I'm doing all of them. Perfect. These are some good ones off me mate from Canada. One of them City of Portland, that's for Steve. Up Brum, Steve and Lynn, because they like going to Portland. So I said, I'm doing one of them. X-ray, that was a new one. Tenerife. So I've got all my seeds in there, and they're going to go in the propagator. Chili Paul, he started his off about a month ago, and he said he's had a couple of spurs in already. Right, my little clip, when this door, obviously, if somebody parks straight up against here, and we get a wind, that's going to smack into their motor. So I want to put that back up here. So that's what I've got that clip for. And also the holes underneath. That's where the filler's going. Just in the daylight coming through there. It's only where the bloody rotted away. Because where we used to have these metal containers, the muck was up against it, so it's going to rot. But we've had rats and mice in. But that stuff filled it. Beautiful. Perfect. Right, and also done all my dwarf canners. You don't get the large, medium, dwarf. Obviously, if you only want in small pots, then you want the dwarfs. So I'm getting loads in here. I'm doing the gas top of our road, and I always borrow some offcuts off them. But the size of this, that's the thickest I've ever seen gas piping. It's a 64mm. I borrowed some of that for do my tunnel, top of the garden. There's another ragwort. He was one of the chaps who was used to go around with the postmasters telling him they was lying. That was quoted on this. I don't know where the money is. I've told you. You've told me a pack of lies, bastards. And he's good to nick and all. Right, something I've learned during the week. Check mushrooms from Lidl. Best way of freezing them, just lay them out, then freeze them, and then bag them. Perfect. There's the middle clip. Drilled in ready. Right, my foam, I've cut that off. The excess. That's ready for me next layer. Right, inside here, got my peach. He's bloody budding up. And he wants to flower. We pick it in bloody marsh.
What temperature are you keeping that greenhouse at? Because I've got canners in my cold greenhouse, so there's no sign of life at all. So
this is 50 minimum.
50.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that peach, I just bugged him in the tunnel, top of the garden.
Yeah.
If we get a -6, 7, which we had 2 nights ago, now just put a bit of paper over him. This was a photo when I was in the mob. It's just to show you that's a flower shirt, i.e. from a flour mill. That was from well, all over the West Indies. This is from Jamaica, I believe. And the old sacks, when they'd finished with them for the flour, the women used to take the sacks home and make shirts out of them, like them here, then flog them. And that's all we used to wear. So perfect for the hot weather. We used to call them flower shirts. That's the only one I've got where you can see it's a flower sack. Boston. That was made Jojo. We come back home, we took him up clean for a beer. I had a letter last week, well, an email from somebody, and there's gardening clubs folding, which I mentioned before. Well, there ain't many bloody gardens about now to take over because we don't have it on the school's national curriculum. And there's quite a few gardening clubs folding, but this one just started up, and I did one of me talks. I think I travelled 40 minutes to see my talk, and then I started. Well, I might as well start at my own gardening club up. And now they've got that many. Well, never the dates is good as it says picked from it, and then so that makes a change. Somebody starting up another ragwort. Right now, Wilco's gone. Until somebody's gone, you don't realise how much you're going to miss it. And the stuff we used to get from Wilco, and you can't get it now. But with the spuds, new garden, there's quite a good stuff in there. You can get them online. Just have a look what they got, and well, they got a good collection of taters. Just have a nose. The book. Right, of course, see that very well, but this is how the training shed. There's my sign saying the shed was open. Canners from seed. I tried this last year, obviously, to this year. keeping my own seed. Just having a quick purview. Strappers. That was for the council because the bins are full. That's where I'm getting my wood chip from. I went and got another 2 bags again. This is outside our new venue, but that's got to be changed. I.e., the sheds used to be there now. That they're on the back of the car park. I'm going to change that too. Those more carriers. And I found these 2 little bags in between them, so I'm going to take them down there. Our next meeting, somebody will have a use for them too. Antiques Roadshow during the week, and I spotted straight away. Obviously, this was last summer. There's a canna. Paul,
You want that sign ticking down next time I'm down there? Or not?
is going to try and I've seen. Lorna's going to try and get us some. Where am we? He's going to try and get us a piece just to go over that.
Over the top of it.
Yeah,
We still
that's
got to take it down.
where they're already done.
You guys still unscrew it anyway to put the one over the top of you.
It says leave it with me. I'll see if I can get a piece.
All right, let me know when you're ready. All right.
Okay, Reg. So there's loads of places doing cannas. So that's another one for me canna talk. Highness up before the sun. Keeping an eye on these and these. You know, Colin, 50 min.
I don't know how you afford it.
The missus don't know. That was when we had the -7. I thought you bugger. That's one off-cut I had. Somebody's going to throw that away. I thought I'll throw that away for you. Thank you, sir. Obviously, the blue is the waiter. And this one is looking at the back end of our shed. That's obviously been done from the club, but I'm going to utilise that if they let me have it. I'm just going to cut them legs off. And that's a step up for the shed. Perfect. Right, I've now filled all the holes. Right, he's telling me if the leaves are dying off, which they are there, they're going brown. He's telling me he's coming back into life again. Feed me, wait to me. Back to these seeds, let's have a pair. The first one, there's nothing on them. Next one, you got a few seeds on. Opened them up. Nothing in there. And then look at this little chap. He's got some nice big ones on. Nothing. 2 left. Open that one. Yes, perfect. 5 seeds in. So I'm going to give them a go. Strawberries, I'm drawing out a bit. Give them a waiter. Another dollop's going in the bin. That's all I want to see. If we're getting frost, but I've still got that. Put his head back on. Ben's doing loads of smoothies now. I can remember seeing this on holiday when you have breakfast. I mean, now I was back then, if it was back then, I still made fry up. But instead of a cup of tea, I had one of these. Because the smoothies he's making, the taste is not too bad at all. But he's doing quite a few of them. Halfway down the pond. 3/4 way down the pond. I think 4 days I lasted. Committee meeting last week. Always have a committee meeting for the AGM. So that's a new committee. Good turnout of troops. Had a good night. And Amy bought some Scotch eggs in. Chili Scotch eggs. Boston. So there's me de-editing all the old ones. And I fed him. Frost, alstrameria is coming through. I got a bit of protection with his fence. With that -7 we had, one is going to touch everything back. In the pots themselves, the bulbs are coming through. Tracy sleeps over in a brothel. Always said brothels should be everywhere. Years ago, majority of capitals around the world are at a port. That's where all the ships come in. and they had to have brothels to look after all the matlows, all the sailors. Exactly the same now. It's not just the sailors, it's the men you got to look after. You have brothels, just run them properly, then you'll have less rapes and all this crap. Anyway, what's that got to do with gardening? I ain't got a bloody clue. Right, my little chaps, I'm not nice and round like the others, but I'm still going to give them a go. Just about make the white out there. So out of the 5 of them, I got 3 decent ones. Give them a go. Old Charlie was in the papers during the week, and I spotted that one there. There you see it. Veterans badge from the mob. All forces. There we have. There's mine. Charlie's got in as well. He's a good lad. I had this from 4. He's a canna man from lives in France now. And he don't send anyone, well, cost too much sent to UK, tax and all that crap. Luckily, he come over to the London visiting. When he was in London, he posted these to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't got him. He's a good lad. So I'm jobbing them as well. Right, I want need some small pots, boards on them. I can't keep waiting for me and bought this. So I saw these in Asda. And that lot, 80p. All I want is the pots. Perfect. Also saw some cat litter. Somebody come down our trading sheds. It says you got everything covered up with your fertilizer, compost with blankets. So if you put litter trays in, it would help to keep the moisture down. So that's what I do. Anyway, I got them and I had a couple of them. Ben had one. Mrs. A want one. So I'd have really 3 because I need the pots. Perfect for these. So that's what I'm using now. Them are good, but they're a bit big. If I'm doing different ones, smaller the better. Lukewarm water, and I even saw something else I learned yesterday. If you use boiling water, leave it for 30 seconds and then pour it in. So that's another trial. The next lot I'm going to do, I'll do it that way. And that breaks open quicker. Colligate Gardening Club, the wench where I had these polo shirts from, I made that up for us. And Ben says, just email a messenger and just ask her for that. And then we can use that as a heading for our gardening club on note paper or whatever. I thought, good idea. So I left that with us. Alstrameria doing well on the front because they're being protected. You can see where that -6 has jobbed the edge, but they're still there. Right, 3 sheds, so 3 litter trays. And there's 1 in each one. You can see where the condensation really drips in here. So, I mean, everything's still going to be covered up. I'll zoom on that one there. The damp's got in that box there. That's before I've took over again. But everything now, let's have a look closely. That's my fig, shoots on him. And the next one, that's my blueberry, and the shoots on him. So we're slowly getting there. These come out, committee meeting. Amy bought these out. I was pleased about John Murphy. He's coming up to the show again. Good lad. Events for this year. That's our AGM. 1st of Feb. That'll be my first talk on growing cannas for beginners. We've got John Bennington, Eddie Memorial. He's a good lad. Justin. Bring him by. And they want more on growing veg and on the plot. So I've got my composted talk here on the plot. Darren Rudge, Ellie Bowles ain't had that one before. Orchid ain't had that either. We have the show here with Dahlia's presentation on cannas this morning, yesterday morning. I'm still there. Still looking after the birds, this weather, and the water underneath. and then into that -6 or 7. It's jobbed a few of these, but there's still a few more underneath. They'll come back, hopefully. I just take Pet down Russell's Hall Hospital to go and have an MOT, and I was sorting all my photos out for my talk. Everybody thinks they're normal, don't they? When you're sat there with a coffee, it tastes like crap. And you look at everybody, you think, Christ, there's some weird bloody folk about. They'll probably look at me, he looks bloody weird there. And you know, these babbies, if we get any more minus good ones, if there's no wind, I'll just put paper over. Got 3 layers each. If there is a bit of wind, then you're still going to get the frost. So I'll put a environment over them. But also a couple of sheets over him, look after him. Loads of stuff to send to Jeffrey, so that's the one I got up for him. I think get him a month to get it. Muddy Boots give me a ring during the week. We had a catch up. He's busy on a Zoom nights like tonight, but he does watch him, and I'm trying to talk him. Well, I think I've got him come to our show again this year. He never did Malvern spring or late last year because he was that busy. Try and talk him into it. I say Nick's coming, John's coming again, Dave, you know all these because I'm Zoomers, Paul, T'other Paul, Jeffrey, he's coming and all. Jeffrey's coming over, first time. It'll be good to see him. Then you got Len and Steve from Brum, and all one lot, Andy, and Chris, and Neil from Wednesbury, 2 leak men, them coming up. No. And Dave. Sue. And Andrew and Liam. And Lynn. These 2, I'm still getting stuff off him. We're having a delivery there, compost. Well, this is a recycled compost from Bromsgrove. I've asked him the pH. About 5.5. That'll do me. People are going to ask me, sorry, Jack, there's not enough room. You're not that, Paul, are you? Bloody plants up the stairs and everything. How did you get away with it?
Yes, I've only got one in the house. It's Bird of Paradise and the bananas are in the entry.
Oh.
And the rest of the bananas in the tunnel covered over. Talking about that, I went to Alpaca Heaven Friday.
I know, I've told them all.
Yeah, I had 29 bags, was it? 39 bags altogether. And
You're right.
The top was froze solid. I dug down. I was to the worms in it. There's millions of them.
Did you get any photos? No.
Yes, I have. I took photos of them on Instagram and our colleague Instagram page and TikTok page. And the breakfast mix was lovely, man.
Show me the photos you told.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok.
I ain't bloody on that. Right, last year, this is where all the places I went for me talks and whatever. We're going to beat that this year. Strange how we can patrol the Red Sea, but not the English Channel. Now, is this true or false? There's some photos on here, and
that's true, Mick.
Are they?
Yeah.
I did look into it. I think it was 35 quid for a seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just look at the picture. And this is another one. Look at that. Corker.
That real?
I think so.
Cool.
That's what our mate sent me as a good one.
Mick, have you seen the monkey face store kids?
Yeah. I've put them on a phone now. I'm bloody, it's weird, isn't it? Nature. Like it though. Right, John Salisbury from up north is a big league, but big leaking on him, man. Well, he's big on bloody everything. North East Horticultural Society are proud to announce a new venue for their show. Beamish Museum. Horticultural Extravaganza weekend in the grounds of the museum. He rung us up during the week. Now, this is dedication. This is. Hi everyone, more great news. The North East Horticultural Society police announced we have had more meetings with Beamish Museum and the show will be bigger and better than ever before. Our schedule is larger than ever and will include children's classes, beginners section, cooking classes. We'll have trade stands as well. The present museum will build in 1950 cinema. Hopefully then we're ready for the show weekend and there'll be at least 2 top speakers. He's rung me up. I'm one of the top speakers. But I'm not. It's on the same day as our show. I said, sorry John, our show comes first. So that's dedication to our lot. That would have been good. I could have flogged me books, met a few mates I ain't seen for a while. Plus it's somewhat different. But sorry John. And our mate who we had the presentation night, once again he was on BBC One bargain on. He's like off smoke. Love him. Another sign I'd done for the training sheds. It's just advertising. And our Ben's put that on as well. This people now with the phones can just take a photo of that and it puts them straight onto the group. Colligate Garlic Club. Brilliant. And that's it, people, for tonight.
Thanks, Mick.
Cheers, mate.
You've learned something. Past an hour, 8 hour and 25, that will do.
Cheers, Mick.
The next Zoom is Sunday, 4th of Feb. So we got a 2-week break again.